An aide to Alexei Navalny says the body of the Russian opposition leader has been handed over to his mother. Today is Sunday, February 25th, 2024, and this is the Dunkley Report. An aide to Alexei Navalny says the body of the Russian opposition leader has been handed over to his mother. The director of Navalny's Anti-Corruption Foundation made the announcement on his Telegram account and thanked everyone who had called on Russian authorities to return Navalny's body to his mother. Navalny's widow accused President Vladimir Putin earlier Saturday of mocking Christianity by trying to force his mother to agree to a secret funeral after his death in an Arctic penal colony. Navalny's mother has been demanding that Russian authorities return the body of her son to her for more than a week. It's not yet clear when or how the funeral will be held. President Volodymyr Zelensky has welcomed Western leaders to Kyiv to mark the second anniversary of Russia's full-scale invasion, as Ukrainian forces run low on ammunition and foreign aid hangs in the balance. Allies from the EU and the Group of 7 wealthy democracies rallied round Kyiv to express solidarity, with Zelensky joining a virtual G7 meeting Saturday and 4 top officials traveling to Ukraine. Zelensky held a joint press conference with Italian Premier Giorgia Meloni, Belgian Prime Minister Alexander De Croo, and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, as well as European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, shortly after signing landmark bilateral security deals with Rome and Ottawa. Elected officials throughout modern American history have sworn oaths to uphold constitutions and pledged allegiance to the flag without much controversy. But in a handful of recent cases, these routine practices have fallen victim to the same political divisions that have left the country deeply polarized. Disagreements over abortion rights, gun control, and treatment of racial minorities are some of the issues that have caused several political leaders to say they can't take an oath or recite the pledge. Some Republicans point to amendments enshrining abortion rights in state constitutions. Among liberals, saying the Pledge of Allegiance, with its declaration of liberty and justice for all, has sometimes been problematic. Donald Trump has won South Carolina's Republican primary, beating his last major rival, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, in her home state. Trump has now swept every contest that counted for Republican delegates, adding to previous wins in Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. A 2020 general election rematch against President Joe Biden is all but inevitable. The former president's latest victory Tuesday will increase pressure on Haley, who was South Carolina governor from 2011 to 2017, to leave the primary race. But Haley has raised copious amounts of campaign funds and vowed to stay in the race despite increasing questions about where she might win any upcoming contests. At least one member of the Republican National Committee is working to slow Donald Trump's attempted takeover of the organization. Mississippi Committeeman Henry Barber is pushing to keep the committee neutral until Trump is officially the presidential nominee and block it from paying his legal bills. The effort comes after Trump last week publicly called to install one of his senior campaign advisors and his daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, in top roles. Lara Trump suggested earlier in the week that GOP voters would support the committee paying her father-in-law's legal bills as he faces a raft of criminal and civil indictments. But a senior Trump advisor, Chris LaCivita, says the RNC would not pay Trump's legal bills. The U.S. and Britain have struck 18 Houthi targets in Yemen. The strikes on Saturday answer a recent surge in attacks by the Iran-backed militia group on ships in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. According to U.S. officials, American and British fighter jets hit sites in 8 locations. The officials spoke on condition of anonymity in order to provide early details of an ongoing military operation. This is the 4th time that the U.S. and British militaries have conducted a combined operation against the Houthis since January 12th. But the U.S. has also been carrying out almost daily strikes to take out Houthi targets. Authorities in the Eastern Caribbean say they are trying to locate 2 people believed to be U.S. citizens who were aboard a yacht, hijacked by 3 escaped prisoners from Grenada. The Royal Grenada Police Force said in a statement posted Friday that they are working on leads that suggest the 2 occupants of the yacht may have been killed. The nonprofit Salty Dog Sailing Association identified the owners as Ralph Hendry and Kathy Brandel and said they had sailed from Virginia to Antigua and planned to spend the winter cruising in the Eastern Caribbean. Police say the escaped prisoners were arrested Wednesday. A relative of Hendry didn't immediately return a message seeking comment. Warren Buffett credited his longtime partner, the late Charlie Munger, with being the architect of the Berkshire Hathaway conglomerate. He's received the credit for leading and warned shareholders in his annual letter not to listen to Wall Street pundits or financial advisors who urge them to trade often. Buffett also recounted how Berkshire's insurance businesses thrived last year, but its massive utilities and BNSF Railroad disappointed. He also told shareholders how he never plans to sell its stakes in nearly 30% of Occidental Petroleum and 9% of 5 large Japanese trading houses, but he reiterated that he has no plans to buy the oil producer outright. Oppenheimer continued to steamroll through Hollywood's awards season on Saturday, winning the top prize for Outstanding Cast, along with awards for Cillian Murphy and Robert Downey Jr. at the 30th Screen Actors Guild Awards. Lily Gladstone won for her leading performance in Killers of the Flower Moon. Cillian Murphy won Outstanding Male Actor in a Leading Role for his performance as J. Robert Oppenheimer, landing him his first SAG Award. Robert Downey Jr. and Divine Joy Randolph each won for their supporting performances, solidifying their status as Oscar favorites. The ceremony streamed live on Netflix. A documentary about a Tunisian family and the radicalization of 2 teenage daughters who joined the Islamic State group is up for one of the most prestigious film awards in the world. 4 Daughters, by filmmaker Kauthar Ben-Hania, is among the Academy Award nominees for Best Documentary Feature. It's an intimate portrait of stormy family dynamics and reflections on loss and generational trauma. Off-camera, the real-life nightmare is a shared experience among some other Tunisian families, They're living reminders of a complex legacy, unresolved issues, and difficult questions persisting years later. Today's news was reported by the Associated Press. This has been the World News for Sunday, February 25th, 2024. Thanks again for joining us at the Dunkley Report.